Welcome back to the Nerdrotic channel. My name is Gary Beekler. I am live in San Francisco, California. Come to you from nerdrotic.com, and down in San Diego is my good friend and co-host, Dennis Bethaukas. How are you, Dennis?
I'm doing great. It's like a beam from the sky came and got me.
We got our energy bolt into the sky. My God, I was like, yes. You know, we can't have a Marvel superhero anything without a giant energy bolt going into the sky, or DC, or anything.
We can't have any superhero movie without a
wow,
giant
did it
energy bolt.
deliver? Yeah. We're here covering the finale of Cloak and Dagger, season 1, episode 10, Colony Collapse. I'm speechless at this episode. We really tried to be fair. I even actually kind of liked this show in the beginning. I thought it was a decent start, but I want to preface by saying, you know, we're gonna break down the episode, but this show's not for me. It's not written for me. It's not on a network for me, and I understand that. So I'm trying to go in tempering my expectations, you know, being the horrible fanboy that I am, but you know, that's yeah, let's get going on this.
I actually like this better than like Castle Rock. So, but that's, you know, that's not saying much.
I don't know about that, man.
And it's honestly, it's just barely, they're neck and neck. So it's yeah. So yeah, we start off with Auntie Chantel telling a story. She's telling us a story about how New Orleans began with the Choctaw Indian tribe, and there was a famine that was going on, except for two children. Two children were not; they were marked children, and all the fish had dried up from the creek. Everyone who went out for food never came back, and we see this really depressing scene of these two little kids, one carrying a bucket full of rocks, puts it on their head, and just walks into the river and kills themselves.
Kills herself. So I have a question.
Yeah.
So if those are the last two of the Choctaw tribe, how did they continue?
They weren't the last two. She said they were just, you know, two that didn't get sick.
Okay. Oh, okay. Because I was like, did he make out with the fishes or something like that? Or I mean, like, I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, and so that's when all the fish came back and the land, you know, became fertile again, and people stopped getting sick.
Okay, so we ended last episode with like a really potentially good scene. We had the hit woman with before we go further. Well, I'm all right. Well, I'm talking about last episode, but we can do it now. We can do spoiler warning. After I break down last week's episode, we are going to start spoiling the episode. Thank you, Viking Bitch, for the paddle. So last episode, at the end, Tandy was at her mom's house. Her mom had a gun to her head with the hit woman counting to 3, and her daggers were coming out. And I'm all, okay, finally, we're going to get some superhero action. She's going to, like, they're going to end it, and that's cool. And we'll start out this episode. And I'm all, I bet you they're going to start out this episode like rewinding or doing a flashback. We're not going to see what happens right away. So they do the, you know, depressing native scene. And then we get back to Tandy. I'm like, all right, she's going to throw her daggers, man. She's going to toss them. It's going to go right in this hit woman's head or knock the gun out of her hand. And she monologues. She freaking monologues. And she starts going, you know what we're going to do? I've got the paperwork that you need. And then, like, mom actually does something badass and stabs the hit woman while Tandy's monologuing. So missed opportunity there, I thought. But that's kind of how this episode goes.
And as mom picks up the gun, doesn't fire it, of course, and Tandy slashes the hit woman's leg and gets knocked to the ground, and the hit woman has enough time to get up and run away. Open the door. She basically has time to, like, you know, dust off the door handle, do a little light dusting, open the door.
She did. She adjusted her hat, found her keys, and was able to leave. Yeah. Thank you, Dakota Stanton, for the $5 super chat. Hello from New York. Greetings, Dakota. Thank you so much. Brilliant.
And then we have he's watching us.
Watching us, I guess. Cool.
So Tyrone ends up going over to the group that are making the costumes to their hangout there, and he's looking for the cloak. And he runs into his dad, and you know, his dad has the cloak, of course, and says, you know what, I don't know what's going on. He goes, I know you didn't kill anybody. But he goes, you got to run. You got to run far away, and basically don't send us postcards. Don't call us. Nothing. Just run. And Tyrone grabs the cloak, puts it on, and his father goes, I think I can sneak you at the back because the cops have shown up at this point. And Tyrone disappears, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And Tandy, we go back to Tandy, and Tandy is taken off. She's gone over to Mina Hess's place because she's been trying to get a hold of Mina. And we see one of the terrors come out and attacks Tandy as she's outside Mina's place. Does Mina live in the swamp or something like that? Because
she must.
That's what I'm thinking. And she kills one guy. I mean, the guy's on top of her. She has her little dagger out and she stabs him and kills him. And then
and these are like innocent people who are infected. I mean, are they just dead after that? They didn't really let us know if once because if that's the case, then somebody else is dead. So once you're infected, is that it? You're gone, or I don't know.
Yeah, they didn't really explain that. And then we see the guy that Mina was working for that had chased her as a terror is inside Mina's place and just tearing the place up. Mina's hiding in a closet there, and he starts hacking away at it with a butcher knife. And that's when Tandy comes in, knocks him out. She knocks this guy out. The other one she stabbed, but yeah. And then she tells Mina, the gas makes people crazy. They're called terrors. That's what your dad called them. And they said all the gas mains are all around the city. They're strategically placed around the city. They're like, shit, we need to find a way to stop this. So Tyrone, in the meantime, is hiding out in a parade with his cloak on, and cops keep spotting him here and there, and he keeps disappearing and then reappearing. And O'Reilly shows up in the car, and she's like, "Get in!" And at this point, all the cops have seen him, and they're rushing towards him, and they have their guns drawn on him, and she goes, "Take off!" And he goes, "I can't do it. There's too many people," because he's in broad daylight and doesn't want to do it. So he gets arrested, and so does she, since she's there.
Yep.
Yeah, and so then we go back
to like, meh. It's more of that, and that was a Mardi Gras scene that we're running around, right? So of course we're in New Orleans, so we have to have a Mardi Gras scene. This one was different. It was during the day, so it's early Mardi Gras, I guess. But maybe Mardi Gras every day in New Orleans now. That'd be kind of fun, actually.
Could be.
I'd be down with that.
Yeah, there's a lot of drinking though, so and a lot of puke too. Auntie Chantel again goes and recounts a story of two brothers who were fighting over a woman. And one brother goes so far as to wear a black armband because his brother broke his heart, going after the woman that he loves. And they're dueling out in a storm. The storm's getting worse and worse and worse. And one brother kills the other, and we find out that the one brother who got killed never loaded his gun and sacrificed himself because he had a change of heart when he was loading the gun.
And never loaded his gun. That's what she said. Sorry.
And
maybe that's why she liked the other brother.
Yeah, exactly. He wasn't shooting blanks. Yeah. And the storm stops immediately and saving New Orleans again. And Evita, tells her aunt that she, at this point, she goes, "This is great, but what does this have to do with what's going on?" She goes, "Because it's happening. It happens all the time. There's always the two that save us." And Evita finally tells her, "I think I know who the other person is. Who the second person is." And she goes, "Great. Okay. Do they know about it?" She goes, "Hell, I don't even know what the hell is going on." So, because her aunt is really good at communicating nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
she's really good at being ambiguous, going, "Oh, there's something coming for the city.
Yeah,
it's greed. It's gonna tear us down."
I'm gonna tell you a lot of stories about the city, but I'm not gonna tell you what it's all pertaining to.
What the details are. It's like greed built the pipes. Yes. By the way, that was our villain this year. Was greed, corporate greed.
Yeah.
So of the
okay.
This really isn't Cloak and Dagger. It's Tandy and Tyrone cosplay in New Orleans. I mean, let's be honest here. But please continue. I have more to say on
this. So Tandy and Mina are going to the Roxxon HQ. And of course, they're trying to avoid the terrors as they're driving through town. And O'Reilly and Tyrone are getting thrown in a storeroom in police HQ. And of course, none of the police are helping them. And the corrupt police that have them are waiting for Connor to show up. And Tyrone, for some reason, can't teleport now. He just can't do it. And, O'Reilly's like, hey, you know what? Do your thing now. And he's like, I can't.
He can't perform.
He can't perform under pressure.
No, under pressure. Yep.
And so
happens to the best of us, to be honest with you.
O'Reilly's trying to talk the cop who's guarding them, out of doing this. And he goes, you're not from New Orleans. You don't know what you're not one of us.
Like, what was that have to do with anything?
Exactly. So she ends up breaking her thumb so she can slip out of her handcuffs, which, I thought was a good move there. And in the meantime, Tyrone's like, well, I'm from New Orleans. And he starts talking the cop down and, goes through this whole tirade about, my parents pay taxes. So they pay your salary and you should be protecting us. And like, where are you going with this, man? That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I was like, okay, like so much civic pride. I can imagine, like, I'm from Encinitas, so I'm like, I'm from Encinitas too. Don't you love the beaches and the strip malls like I do? That McDonald's on the corner of Encinitas Boulevard. That's a great place, man. Let's fight for that. Let's die for that.
I'm from San Francisco, man. You like those junky needles laying all over the street? Let's fight for that.
Those crackheads on 6th Street.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to fence all my stolen goods.
Well, it is a good place to, if you need awesome stuff and you don't have eBay, you always got 6th Street. So
exactly. And so just as he's getting the cop to turn to his side and the cop's getting ready to unlock the door, another cop walks in and goes, Connor's out in the parking lot, get ready. And that cop goes, okay, cover for me. And he takes off. The cop that got turned.
He's all, I gotta go to the bathroom. See you later.
He really pulled the Homer Simpson. He goes, hey man, can you cover for me? I gotta go. And takes off.
I gotta actually
hear the tires screeching off of the parking lot.
I gotta read one chat here. So the main baddie this season was greed. Gary, seriously? So next season's gonna be gluttony. Jody, don't give them any ideas.
Well, they're gonna be joining up with Castle Rock. So they're gonna have the 6 Horsemen of the Apocalypse or something like that.
God, that would be something.
Yeah. Then they can just vie for who's shittier than the other. Sorry. So then we have Connor pull up and he comes in and he says, okay, here's what's going to happen. We're going to go for a little ride. This one's going to escape. He's going to kill you in the process and then we're going to kill him. He basically just tells them flat out what he's going to do. And just like, seriously, man, you're still in the police station. It's a little bit premature to actually do that, right? Kind of tell him your intent.
Yes. Well, at this point, I was like, whatever. I mean, we're beyond, like, I think they realized before they started this episode, they're all, oh crap, we're on the 10th episode. We got to wrap this thing up now. Shit. Well, let's go. We'll have some video game zombies running around and And Mardi Gras. We're gonna have Mardi Gras because it's New Orleans. All right.
We're gonna have it's not gonna be Mardi Gras. We're gonna have some colorful floats or one float. It's gonna look like a float. It's actually gonna be a partial float, but we're gonna shoot it from an angle, so it looks like there's a lot of people. We're only gonna have 10 people gathered around.
Pretty much what it was.
Yeah. And we're gonna have a lot of people that dress like cops, but they're gonna look more like taxi cops than anything else. Scarsborough, in the meantime, is in the Roxxon headquarters there, and he's drilling. He's just an old-fashioned drill through hard drives. And I'm like, man, did you ever heard of an electromagnetic?
He saw Mr. Robot, and he thought that was the right thing to do. And Mako, you're so right. Mardi Gras without boobs is not Mardi Gras. Okay.
Yeah. And we saw people throwing beads, and I'm like, who's he throwing beads to, man? Show it.
Yeah.
Because you throw beads for a reason. That's all I'm gonna say.
I was laughing this entire episode. This is the funniest goddamn thing I've seen in God since I watched Last Venture Brothers, which was this morning. But I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And man, so for some reason he ends up going into the elevator. He's taken off, and who does he bump into? He bumps into Tandy and Mina. And Mina, beats the shit out of him. Basically, it's not Tandy; it's actually Mina that socks him. And says, where's the main at? Where's, the main for the gas? Because he says, the main is power, and, this gas is power. And, we have stuff all over the city. They don't explain why they put these mains all over the city.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll be serious here for a second. Oh, God, Jesus Christ. Crazy Carlos. I was just about to make a point. Now it's completely side rail. Thank you, Crazy Carlos. This is a man who is true to his name. He's crazy in all the best ways. We got to meet him in San Diego. He's a wonderful person, and Jesus Christ, he's holding my feet to the fire tonight. Okay, Viking bitch, I request a season-to-season review until the new season starts. And she told me you promised her. Did I promise her?
About Venture Brothers.
Oh, Venture. Yeah, we're going to do Venture Brothers. Yeah. That's. I mean, hey, I do make a lot of and I deliver, but I never gave a date on any of this stuff. It's probably going to be within the next calendar year because of things. But just a real quick sidebar that once I'm done working my day job and I get back into business ownership, I will have more time because I have 0 time right now.
I don't know which time. I have plenty of time.
So I mean, and Dennis just has all the time in the world because I
don't do anything.
We both kind of work our asses off. So that's why we like to do this and hang out with you. It's fun. So what the hell point was I making?
Vikings is what he was saying. He was saying it was Vikings.
Yes. We'll do Vikings. Well, I don't know about we promised Vikings. We'll talk about that. Well, I gave money, but we'll figure out a way.
So we're talking about Mina beating the shit out of Scarsborough in the elevator and saying, what's the frequency?
Right. Okay. No, here was the point of it. When Mina explained that she had built this pipe and all the valves were strategically placed through the city, I'm like, okay, maybe there's some big villain behind this that they're going to reveal at the end. Was like, I planned this and I gave her the plans and I wanted to start this to bring down New Orleans because I hate New Orleans. Damn New Orleans, because the Saints won the Super Bowl. Or Drew Brees is a guy from San Diego, right? Because he's pissed Drew Brees went to the Saints and he wants to kill New Orleans for it. I don't know. I'm just thinking of an idea, which would have been better than fucking greed and an energy beam going up of love or beating the greed. Because that's what happened.
Well, they could have used Hurricane Katrina and said, you know what? The city's too evil to live. We saw all of it, what happened in Hurricane Katrina. So I'm going to release this gas. That's the reason why I have them all over the city.
That's the one thing they didn't bring up. I mean, I understand too soon. Got it. I got you. Okay. Yeah. But they talked about the Spanish influenza and everything, but they stayed away from, I like nerd foreplay. I don't know why I'm just reading that, but what's nerd? Viking bitch, after the podcast, I want to hear what nerd foreplay is. I do. I mean, I guess we all have our own versions. Never mind. So it could have been a villain, but no, it was just like, I happen to build this and they happen to be valves strategically placed so we could plot device and have love beat the greed. Continue, Dennis.
Exactly. And he name drops, he goes, I want to have power like the Starks and the Rands. Okay, so
that makes everything okay. You mentioned Tony Stark and awesome MCU. Woo!
And so Mina slaps him around a little bit more and goes, "Where's the frequency? I mean, where's the main at that we can shut it off?" And he goes, "It's an Annex 616."
Okay,
616.
And Mina beating the crap out of this guy. It's like, come on, man. Okay, man. What is he talking to them for in the elevator? And he monologues too.
Yeah, he does.
Did you not watch The Incredibles? Jesus Christ.
But he did drop the Annex 616, which is, for those of you who don't know, the Marvel 616 universe is the comic book universe.
Well, it's the one that they've completely destroyed.
Yeah, so they've destroyed.
Is it better than the 666? Hell no.
Yeah. And I have a theory.
Made an album, by the way.
That the TV series, the TV shows are all in the 616 universe, and the movies are in the Ultimate Universe. So that's the reason why they don't cross over.
I don't know how I feel about that. For Daredevil, yes. All right. No, I think that's a good theory. They really don't cross over because Kevin Feige hates Perlmutter.
Yeah.
But this is why we can't have nice things. We actually did a whole podcast on that.
We did. So what does Tandy do? Tandy grabs a hold of Scarsborough's hand, takes him into his dream, and he goes, yes. She goes, this is what you want? He goes, yeah, I want to be a god, kind of thing. She goes, well, why don't you just go through that door over there? And somehow or another, she puts him into Ivan Hess's nightmare about the...
Does she physically put him in?
I don't know. That's the whole thing. That really confused
that now? Me. Well, dude, that's Endgame. I mean, this is a really short series. If both, we know Tyrone can do that.
Yeah.
We see it later. But if she can do that, like, well, fuck, they're going to just beat everybody. I mean,
because
just zap them to wherever.
Exactly. And I mean, really what they need to do then, if they can do this, your next villain that you need to bring in season 2 is Nightmare. Because that's the one they can't beat.
That's true. But yeah, we'll get into it.
Yeah.
I'll read Mako, I'll read that comment later.
Wow.
For those
okay.
for the fine people on iTunes who just listened to us, there's a funny little comment by Mako.
Yeah. You can go over to our YouTube channel and you can read it for yourself.
Yes. By the way, like, share, and subscribe.
Yes.
Especially you Cloak and Dagger fans.
Oh man.
Sorry,
that just made me laugh. So Connor grabs O'Reilly and Tyrone, and he's going to take them out somewhere and kill them. And as they're walking out real slow through the through the police precinct, and O'Reilly's trying to get her hand out of the cuff, her broken, now her thumb is broken. We have some crazy terror breaks through the door with an axe, into the police precinct, and the cops taser him, take him down. And when the cop goes to check his pulse, he gets infected and starts attacking other people. It's mayhem ensues at this point.
Yes, it does.
And then we go back to Auntie Chantel.
She tells another story.
Yeah, she's going to tell another story about the Battle of 1812, the Battle of New Orleans, actually, at the end of the Battle of 1812, where an infantryman who doesn't have a name because no one remembers who it is, was bringing word of the ceasefire to the front so that the war could end. And he gets shot. And he dies in a maiden's arms, or he's dying in a maiden's arms, and he passes her the letter, and she sees the urgency in her eyes, and she actually takes the letter and runs, and she's the one that ends the war. And he was the last soldier to die during the war of the Battle of 1812 and the Battle of New Orleans. So she was saying that's how a maiden can end this war, because Evita keeps saying, well, what can I do? What can I as a girl do, kind of thing, is what she says, which was really weird that she said it that way. And I'm like, what? Huh?
Okay. It is what exactly it sounds. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of kind of moments where
what
you're like,
girls do? Girls can't do anything.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh man. Yeah. So Mina and Tandy bump into the assassin, outside of the Roxxon Corp.
It makes me think of what is it, Ron Burgundy? Was it? Oh my God! He's all, girls can do stuff now. What the fuck was that scene in the bar?
Oh yeah. Oh my God! Yeah, it is like that. So Mina and Tandy end up bumping into the hit woman outside of the. They're trying to get to the main at this point, and so the hit woman starts shooting at them, and a herd of terrors are coming towards them from the other end. So they end up going into a warehouse to hide out from them, and the hit woman gets attacked by the terrors. So she's taken care of at this point.
I'm sorry, our chat's on fire tonight, dude.
I know. I'm trying to keep it.
Ignore you guys for a minute.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do too. So Mina's shutting the window. One of the terrorists breaks the window and touches her. So she's infected now at this point. Tyrone gets his cloak back because it's in the weapons evidence room, and puts it on. And he and O'Reilly are in the basically the armory, and she's getting mercy bullets, is what she said. Is that correct?
Yeah, mercy bullets.
Yeah.
Probably rubber bullets or something. I
don't know what the hell mercy bullets are. I've never heard of mercy bullets. So
yeah, and then he gets Tyrone gets his fucking cloak ripped off, and it trolls the entire audience. And I was wrong. I'm here to admit freely when I'm wrong. I'm wrong all the time. I wake up wrong. It's cool. I don't care. I'm married. But I said that the costumes would show up at the very end of the last episode. Nope, they didn't show up at all. Never mind. There's no costumes. So I can't even say they were cosplaying.
In the meantime, the cop that Tyrone almost talked into letting them go has come back mysteriously. We don't know how he came back, but he O'Reilly and Tyrone are actually taking out the terrors. They're knocking them out because Tyrone tells them, "Don't let them touch you. Don't touch them," because that's how you get infected. And he lures them all into one room, has them shut the door, and he disappears, and his cloak is getting all tattered up as this is happening, and he disappears right into Tandy, the warehouse where an infected Mina is trying to attack her, and he turns around and he's got a taser and he shoots it at Mina and knocks her out.
Mina's infected. That sounds bad for some reason. Poor Mina. Well,
happens to the best of us sometimes. Yeah, what happens in Mardi Gras stays in Mardi Gras.
Yep.
Sometimes.
Except if you get infected.
But then you just take that shit home with you. Yeah. Carry with you like herpes for the rest
like luggage.
So we'll go back to 1918, Auntie Chantel talking about Jack Rogers and the influenza epidemic.
And now I'm laughing at the 1918 epidemic. It wasn't funny, okay? It wasn't.
Yeah. And how he gave his blood to his lover, and somehow or other that cures his lover, and he died. But the amazing thing is the other 12 people that were also there got up and walked out healthy as a horse, what they said. So by sacrificing himself,
for a clarinet player.
Yeah, for jazz. It was a jazz clarinet player. Though.
Okay. I guess that's pretty good.
Yeah. And by doing that, he got rid of the plague. So Tyrone and Tandy are in her old church there, and they don't know how to stop the terrors. And Evita shows up and says, "Hey, one of you's got to die in order to save everybody."
She shows up and gives like so you think we're gonna get some exposition, some explanation. She goes, "You're just gonna do this because you can do it because you're awesome. But one of you has to die." And then Tyrone's all, "I can't do it anymore. I can't. I don't know my power. I don't know my cloak. Blah blah blah." So then we find out that Tandy has his hoodie the whole time, and she says the best line ever written on Freeform, which is, basically it's the first thing she ever stole. And she kept it because she needed it, but now you need it, although you don't need it, but I need you. My God, that's fucking Shakespeare. Thank you. God damn. Damn, he's rolling in his grave and he's not even in it yet.
Oh man, I did like though when Tyrone and Evita are having that moment where he's stumbling, trying to tell her that he cares for her, like in that teenage way. And you should go and hide because I care about you.
Because I like you.
Yeah,
I mean,
and it was just really, dude. Come on, just say I like you. You don't need to like stumble with the words and stuff.
I needed my friend to tell you that I like you.
Yeah, check this box. Do you like me too? Yes. Yeah. No? And I love Tandy's reply was, "You should lock that down."
Right? Yeah. Okay, I'll agree with her there.
Yeah. And it was just really stumbling, man. Yeah. I know he's a teenager and everything, but man, that was a cringy scene. So Tyrone, Tandy gives Tyrone that pep talk. I was actually expecting her to slap him at one point because that's how it was just getting to that point. And she gives him his brother's hoodie and goes, "Is that what I think it is?" And we see him actually starting to get his powers back. And O'Reilly
and their whole plan, like this is from Evita and everything, that they're like, "You're gonna do it somehow. We're just gonna do it." And Tandy's all, "No, just no. We're gonna do this because we're awesome and it's freeform. Let's go.
Because we're super. Thanks for asking."
Yeah. All things considered, I'm just okay.
And meantime, I just want to say, they kept playing every time Auntie Chantel is telling her story. They're playing "Sailing Away," "Come Sail Away,"
and not the good version, not the original version. They're playing
a really bad version. Really bad version. And the funny thing is, the only thing I kept thinking of every time they played it was that South Park episode where Cartman, every time he hears the song, he has to go through the entire song.
Right?
I don't know why, but
so okay. So they get in their little, they go and they do this. Okay, so they have no plan, and so
they're running for the shut off switch. They get trapped by terrors, and then all of a sudden gunshots start ringing out. And we see O'Reilly on the top of a float or something like that, shooting at these people with supposedly her mercy bullets, taking them down. I saw blood. I don't know about you. And
maybe she couldn't find him. And she just said, fuck it.
She just fuck it, I'm just grabbing the regular bullets. She climbs down, goes to her car, throws the gun, her rifle in the trunk. Now, mind you, this is during a riot.
Yeah.
So I'm going to throw my car, my rifle in the trunk. I'm going to go and leisurely get into my car. Connor walks up out of nowhere, because there's nothing around him to hide behind. He just walks up and starts shooting her in the bulletproof vest.
Hey, I've never been to Mardi Gras, but I hear it's really easy to find people. Yeah, like you just find them like that.
And he's monologuing about how, did you think you're going to get away and all this kind of stuff. And he's shooting her in the bulletproof vest. She keeps going down. She's trying to get her gun out, and she's on top of a Roxxon pipe at this point, because you can tell it's a Roxxon pipe. And he shoots her. I think it's in the head. I can't really tell. And we see the gas go off.
Yep, right in front of those strategically placed valves from Mina. So is Mina dead?
No, she's just knocked out at this point.
Oh, you know what? I don't care.
Been tased, yeah. We've forgotten about her. She's been left behind.
So Connor's like kills her because she's from New York City.
Get a rope. And he basically, calls her a bitch as she's dead, laying over the pipe, and then kicks her off the pier into the water. Because, that's always worked for him really well in the past by, just kicking people off into the pier, into the water. Oh, God. I'm sorry. So and then we go back to Auntie Chantel speaking in French.
Speaking in French as they play Come Sail Away. Yeah. And then an energy beam goes up to the sky.
No. We have Tyrone saying, I'm going to sacrifice myself because I can get there before you can.
I forgot. I didn't care. Yeah. He's going to sacrifice himself, and all of a sudden he can, teleport and stuff. And he sees Connors. Connors shows up.
Connor shows up. Yeah.
Apparently Connors can teleport at this point.
Yeah. And he says, I'm going to kill you this time around. He goes, well, do you think that's going to work? It hasn't worked before. And he goes, well, I don't think can do the same thing you can do. And he's pointing at his shotgun at her. And that's when Tyrone teleports in, grabs the shotgun. This is when they're working as a team now. Tandy actually slices his gun in half with her dagger.
And this is there's 4 minutes left in the episode.
Yeah. And he ends up taking Connor up to the roof and scaring him, going, are you scared now? You should be, blah, blah, blah. And then he lets him go. And of course, Connor reaches for his sidearm, and we see his cloak finally reach out, grab Connor, and suck him inside of him. Yeah, that sounded kind of dirty, but it sucked him into the darkness as Cloak that we know from the comics.
I mean, he had a cloak-like thing came out, but he's not going to be wearing a cloak. I mean, maybe they're going to have, I don't know. I don't know. They in their promo material, they're wearing costumes, kind of. So
yeah, I know. But he absorbs him. So Tyrone goes in to go and shut down the main by himself. Can't stop it. Tandy cuts her way into into there, and she goes, well, we need to absorb the this material. He goes, join hands. So they join hands. They somehow teleport outside. Probably by him. And she's holding up a dagger like a lightning rod. He is shooting up dark energy. She's shooting up light energy. And I guess they suck all the energy out of the show. I mean, out of New Orleans.
Yes.
And they pass out on the top of the Astrodome.
Yeah. And they kill the greed. All the greed is gone now.
Because greed's bad, okay?
Because greed's bad, okay? And and that's pretty much where it ends. We get a stinger at the end.
So we do have Avita wrapping up the dolls. She's boxing that up. So obviously she's leaving.
Yeah, she wraps up the dolls. I honestly don't even want to talk about this anymore. She wraps up the dolls, and they talk one more time. It's not really important. Then it ends, and then Mayhem crawls out of the swamp. And then they say 2009 spring Mayhem. It's over. Thank God. Thanks for the warning, spring of 2019. And the way she walks out of the swamp is I know they tried to make it creepy and quick cut and stuff, but it looked like bad 1980s editing at the end of a Friday the 13th episode or something like that. It was really, really horrible.
They're trying to do that ring kind of,
which is really kind of, I'm sorry, it's pretty easy to do. Okay, it's not hard, and they really failed at it. like miserably. So that is your season of Cloak and Dagger. Now, we didn't cover every episode, but we did watch every episode. We gave it a fair chance, and it's just not good. Now, okay. So here's my thing. And I heard Jeff Hicks on World Class Bullshitters talking about this tonight, so I want to give him full credit, but he is absolutely right. It seems like they're making a lot of TV. It's like the Netflix formula, which is we're not giving you our best stuff first. We're saving it because we think we're going to get 10 seasons or 12 seasons. Screw that. Start doing your best stuff first and then try to continue it if you can. Stop playing us for next season. And I think that's becoming a thing with the MCU. That was the biggest complaint about the connected universes. Like they keep just wait till the next one, wait till the next one, wait till the next one. People are going to get sick of that shit. And I am officially sick of it with this show. So we got it with the Runaways. The Runaways was good because it had a more interesting cast. The cast was more interesting and it was fuller. It was more of a full show with a lot of intricate characters. It was funny. It was funny at times and stuff. This show didn't have a ton of levity at all. And it was dark and not well written and like really dark. They put some kind of palette on it or filter to make even the daytime, like right around the corners kind of diffused. So yeah, it just, you know, and these are two characters I like a lot. And I went into it knowing, again, that this is on Freeform. So I'm going to dial it back a little bit. So I was expecting something like The Runaways. The Runaways was way better than this. This was, it was, yeah. I mean, it's not the greatest show ever, but it's better than this. The Gifted is better than this. There's so much better. And Marvel Television continues to kind of fuck up. I'm sorry, but, you know, outside of Netflix, it's questionable at best. And you know, if that's what they think they were going for the audience, and I don't know what audience they're playing to. Now, I did read a review from Den of Geek that I'm going to save for Monday. Okay. Cause like, I don't want to clown, but I've got to clown the person on this review because they wrote this review like it was the greatest thing they've ever seen, to the point where the person said they were in tears at the end of the episode. And I'm just like, I want to know more about you. I need to know like what makes you tick because I don't understand that at all. But yes, I like Cloak and Dagger because I am a huge Spider-Man fan, Mario. Yes. And I read it, like Cloak and Dagger came out for me at the prime time of comics, like in the early 80s. Some of the best stories ever written, really cutting edge at the time. If you read them now, you're not going to get it. But like when you were reading it in 1980, 81, 82, it's like, it was impactful and it was really good. And I highly recommend you do it. It's within the pages of Spectacular Spider-Man and it's just good stuff. This was not though.
No. And also I want to, say at the very end too, we get a switching of roles. So Tandy is now living at home with her mom. And now Tyrone is on the run and living in the old church, you know, on the run from the cops, from the bogus that he killed a cop kind of thing. So that's how we ended it. Movie Fanobi says Christopher McQuarrie offered to shave Dennis's goatee for $3 million, but Dennis blew it. He shaved it himself for free. This is the whole Christopher McQuarrie and Henry Cavill thing with the Superman mustache, digitally, you know, removing his mustache for the reshoots of Justice League. It was actually said that McQuarrie said that he could shave it off and they would digitally add it in, you know, later on for Mission Impossible. But
well, that leads some. Oh, that's gotten. Yeah, we'll save that for Friday because I heard that actually lends itself to a big time theory about why he will probably not be back.
Yeah.
So, but we'll save that for Friday. That's called a tease.
Yes.
But let's get to some, because some of these chats were for one, I got to find Mako's, like what Mako said was a foreplay, was nerd faux play.
Mario Gentile says, I want some Spider-Man villains on Cloak and Dagger, but Sony has the rights. True. Yeah, I don't know if there's any ones that you can actually. That's why they're going with Mayhem. And not the Mayhem from the car commercials, but Mayhem from the comics. So,
which is a good character. Yeah. But yeah, this show's not going to do it right.
It's not going to do it right at all. Movie Fanobi says reminder pants are still optional, especially with a bad show.
Yes,
because of a bad
or a
show.
good show or a mediocre show. Yeah. Pants optional.
Persian Scribe says, I propose a new show about birds. We could call it Cloak and Dagger. That you go to the corner for that one. I'm sorry. Yeah. No, that was bad. Yes. Jody laughs. So the main baddie this season is greed, Gary. Seriously. So next season, will it be gluttony?
All right. By the way, to answer, Mako answer the question, what is nerd foreplay? Nerd foreplay is when when you Vulcan finger each other while dressed in Starfleet uniforms. Male or female Starfleet uniforms, though. I mean, like, am I in the Uhura skirt at this point in time? I mean, if you want to get kinky, let's get kinky. San Francisco, yo.
Yeah. That's like an everyday occurrence. Mako says those corporations are so evil, makes me want to take my Nike shoes, my iPhone, and just chill out on YouTube. Screw them.
And watch and talk about a Disney show. Yeah. Those freaking corporations. Man. Oh God. Wow, they name dropped the Starks and the Rands and the 616 reference. What does this mean? Will they incorporate the show into the MCU?
Absolutely nothing.
Hell no. It means nothing. It means, hey, remember, we're Marvel, everybody. That Infinity War that just dropped on digital, which means it's on Pirate Bay as well. Mm-hmm. I don't recommend that, though. It's terrible.
Philip A. Demick says Gwyneth Paltrow's head is in the mystery box.
What's in the box? Hey, maybe that's how they'll end Avengers 4.
Wow.
Oh, that's dark. Sorry.
Yeah. Yes, Mako, Carlos is the best sugar daddy around.
I want her to live a nice long life so she can name more of her kids after fruit.
She did, didn't she?
She named a kid Apple. She did. Whatever. I got a kid named Indigo. I do not judge.
I still think the best kid's name that I ever heard was from Penn Jillette, from Penn and Teller. He named his daughter Moxie Crime Fighter.
I like that. Yeah. Penn Jillette is one of my heroes in life, though.
Yeah. Moxie Crime Fighter Gillette.
Are they still doing that show in Vegas? That was such a good show. I love it.
They still do. They actually have a TV show on CW with Allison Hannigan as the host. That's where she's working now. For those of you who want to know. And it's not bad. It's pretty good. Philip A. Demick says, yeah, like these values form a pentagram or something. Oh my God. Excuse me. Jody, on a completely unrelated note, if anyone here likes Winnie the Pooh, are you planning to see Christopher Robin? It looks like it's actually pretty good. Not the usual fare, but good. I'm probably going to go and see it because I canceled my movie pass, but I still have it until the end of the month. So I got to get some, Yeah,
you and everybody else canceled it.
Yeah, it's going down the tubes fast. You already read that one. Sorry.
Artemis over easy. Are you still reviewing Cloak and Dagger? I skipped episodes 9 and 10, and it sounds like a completely different show. Not sure if that's good or bad. Artemis over easy. It really did. The show completely did change in the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, they were kind of like, wait, well, we've only got 2 episodes left.
Yeah, they're like, oh shit. Yeah.
Jody said that's a good theory, talking about my Ultimates and 616, the TV and the movie universe being different, but they have referenced the incident from the Avengers movie and the Marvel Netflix shows. How does the quantum realm? Yeah.
They take place in the same, they are in the same universe, and they will eventually have somebody in something at some point. Well, they've had Lady Sif in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and so
that doesn't count. That was just a dream. It happened in another universe. Mario Gentile says, how will Avengers 3 Finger Snap not be mentioned in every Netflix show or any TV show for that matter?
That's a great question. We'll see how they deal with that. Yeah, because if it's not, you know what, Mario, that'd be a ginormous disappointment if they don't at least refer to it.
And that's why I say they happen in different universes. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, they could have the same kind of timelines kind of thing, but different events happen. or don't happen?
They've never come out and officially said anything about it. They've alluded to it operating in the same universe, and that's probably the best way to go, especially while you're fighting. And Feige has won that war so far, but he can't win it ultimately unless Perlmutter goes away, because he's got more power. He owns part of that shit.
Game User 42 says, "Did I just walk in on a chat about fingering?"
You did. Welcome to the Nerdrotic channel, Nerdrotica.
Oh my God. I'm not going to read Mary Ashmead's comment.
Philip A. Demick says, they even messed that up. The Battle of New Orleans occurred after the war was over in 1814.
Yeah.
All those little stories, none of them, like, I fact checked them. I Googled them. Okay. And I was like, that didn't really happen. Yeah. And no, it didn't.
Well, you got to remember, it was just Auntie Chantel. She'd been drinking a bit too beforehand. I think she was still drinking that rum.
That happened in the 616, so
it was a little bit of drunk history that we had going on.
Drunk history. I like, yeah. She's not voodoo at all. She's just, she's a lush. So it's the time in New Orleans and the greed is coming. Yeah.
Mako says, just don't sleep with Kurtzman. The word is he's got STD.
Oh God, yeah. I might have to do I know our Lord and Savior Doomcock has done a video, and Random has done a video, and I might have to pile in there.
I actually saw a great little clip that I think we need to use, and this is appropriate place for it, because it's a Simpsons, and I believe it was Keith Richards.
Simpsons, dude.
It's Keith Richards. He's on the stage. What are we here for? And Homer's out in the audience, goes, STD.
I wish we could use that.
It made me laugh. That's all. I started thinking about the podcast. Oh God.
What do you mean? They pulled a CW on us? Really? Yeah. No, the CW is better than what this was. I won't even. I would put up with some talking about some feelings in hallways than whatever the hell I just saw.
Crazy Carlos says it's called The Shocker. I'll let you fill in the rest of that one. If you don't know what it is, look it up on Urban Dictionary. That's all I'm going to say.
Don't. You know what? There's just some things you don't Google. Okay. I learned that the hard way.
Especially when someone tells you on the internet to Google it. Go ahead and Google it.
No, especially when they say don't Google it. Then you're like, oh, I got to Google, I'm not going to say it. It will demonetize the hell, and you guys will hate me.
Yeah, exactly. Harley's little sister says, was this show in any form like the comics at all?
No. Simple. No.
Sorry, I'm having to go through a whole bunch of explanation of what the Shocker is there.
Hey, Pen Farm Girl, Persian Scribe, Viking Bitch. I mean, keep going. Endless Echo. Oh, Endless 3 Echo. Sorry.
Jody says, Dennis, but does he like her or just like her? Right? What's next? They'll grab a milkshake from the malt shop and hold hands in the park. No, it's not going to get that far.
Peggy Sue's got to be in by 9 o'clock, though.
Oh my God. You got to keep at least 3 feet between those hips.
Bad Bunny says, episode 2, I said this show sucks. Been telling you since, this series sucks. Too early to say I told you so. If you want, no, we heard you, and yeah, it sucks. Yeah, I'm trying to think. You know what? It's Legion. Legion is the show that we turned on, so I'm always leery of being wrong. We could usually tell pretty early on, okay, if a show's not good or not. And we admittedly are going to be a little more experimental this summer because there's really a lack of the good shows we cover and great TV shows. And summertime is not known for its best TV shows. That's why we're actually going to go out of our wheelhouse and cover Better Call Saul, because God, I just need to watch a good TV show. But Venture Brothers is coming. There is some good stuff coming. But it's this is going to be something we're going to talk about Friday, is so many good shows are being delayed.
Yeah. Oh, God. Artemis Overeasy says, actually can't wait for Aquaman. Looks like a good finger food movie. I'm not going to take that anywhere. I'm just going to take it at face value. That's all I'm going to say. Persian Scribe. but you couldn't tell from listening to my show. I cover serious subjects in quotation marks serious.
Yes, we're so serious here.
Mario Gentile, he better have a fucking cloak and she better have a white bikini thing next season that I won't watch.
Damn straight. She needs to have a white string basically covering, basically 90s dagger. No, she's always had a full cut. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Well, it's in his goddamn name. It's not hoodie and dagger. It's cloak and dagger. Okay. Just saying.
Yeah. Carrie Dalton says, if you want to make it realistic, he just wears a duster or a trench coat. It's not hard. Or you just have a CGI cloak. That's, you make it be part of, and it goes into him kind of thing.
And that's why they're for lack of a better term, appropriating superhero shows with drama, with teenage drama. And I love no, I don't love it, but I mean, like Breakfast Club, good teenage drama. There is good teenage drama shows out there for people who like that kind of stuff. This just wasn't it.
Philip A. Demick says, when Tandy asked Tyrone how he felt after he ate the cop, I was hoping he would say bloated.
Right? Tastes like chicken.
Jody, at Persian Scribe, green tights, and do you fight a pirate with a hook for a hand who is deathly scared of crocodiles? Okay, that was kind of a random one.
There is overrated views about the. Yeah, there is overrated views about the show. IGN points this show as an 8.5, and Daredevil season 1 a 9.0. Well,
yeah,
that is why people are running in droves to YouTube and just like, because the really, and for one, on places like IGN, they shut down all their comments. Or if you even say anything like slightly out of their, of their parameters of what, they ban you. And this is a place where we could freely talk about this stuff. When it's good, we'll say it's good. And when it's bad, we'll say it's bad. And you can't, like, especially IGN. I'm sorry, this is the place I used to go to all the time. Like, that was one of the first nerd sites I went to for 20 years ago now, forever ago. You can't trust them anymore. They're getting bought out, or even worse, they're not getting bought out, and they're shilling for the potential of like early access or a free movie pass or something like that. It's like,
sing for your meal, monkey.
And honestly, Susan writes for one of the websites I like. And not to bash too many, some of these writers I do like, but they don't, a lot of these writers, I'm not saying for IGN, but for other places, they don't get paid.
Yeah.
Just like they get it for exposure, or they get very little.
Yeah. They get some perks like access to stars and stuff like that.
They actually sell the fact that you can say you're an IGN writer.
Yeah.
Like that's your pay. You can put it on a resume and stuff. And that works for now, but, and I'm not saying, they're not geeks or anything like that. I'm just, it's easier to listen to somebody for me anyway. And that's why I started coming to YouTube. It's because I couldn't read CBR anymore. Bleeding Cool. Ugh. I had to stop, and IO9. Ugh. So I started going to YouTube to look for just, regular folks talking about nerdy stuff. And I found you.
I want to say thank you to Feisty Fan for the $4.99. She says, "Why so serious, Dennis and Gary?" We missed it actually as it was going through there.
Why so serious?
Because we've been laughing, this entire time.
Because this is seriously the funniest show I've seen in a long time. I was laughing, and then I described some of that stuff to my wife, and she was laughing. I'm like, it's not supposed to be this bad.
Yeah, I know. Dwayne Duncantel says, feel a little upset because they're in New Orleans with no Cafe du Monde. Yeah, that's the one thing that got me too, is you're in New Orleans, use the city as your backdrop and actually use some of the, you got a supernatural show set in New Orleans, freaking use it. Don't hide it.
Yeah. And like, that was weird that they were shooting in New Orleans the whole time, but it's like coming to San Francisco and shooting in my neighborhood. Like, why would you do that?
Hey, let's go down the Excelsior district.
Yeah, let's go to the Excelsior and and shoot on Geneva, the corner of Geneva and Mission. That's awesome. No.
Yeah, it's
oh well, that was a super dox. Well, yeah, good luck finding my house. But
yeah, Harley's little sister said they need to go occult and have magic for the lead in her demon world. Yeah, that would cost way too much money for them.
Yeah, if they went like, that's what we were talking about. If they went crazy magic kind of gonzo with this show, I could buy the teenage drama if they go not silly, but I mean like amp it up to Buffy, or something like that. You're welcome, Mary Ashby. Thank you for the $2 super chat. She says, "Thank you guys for being the best chat ever." You guys are the best chat ever.
Yeah.
I like it's you. It is not us. I would love to take credit for it, but you are part of the channel. Believe me. You guys are brilliant, and you were really, really, really on fire tonight. Like for sure.
Carrie Dalton says so. In other words, this show is as faithful to the comics as Mutant X was.
Yeah. Oh my God, Mutant X. That had been completely scrubbed from my brain.
Yep.
Wow. Artemis, it's
Dwayne Duncantel says Legion has set the bar so high for anything coming behind it on TV. You're right. God, yeah, Legion.
That's not fair. I mean, it's really not fair. I mean, Daredevil came out, and I've said this before, and it ruined me for CW shows forever. I mean, it's not really fair to the CW shows that Drew Goddard came out with Stephen Knight, and they made a masterpiece on television. And then Noah Hawley comes out and equals it, in my opinion. So we can't. I don't expect that every time, but like a show like The Gifted, which is bye Fenobi. Are you leaving? Good night, everybody. Yeah, we're about to wrap it up here.
Yeah.
I mean, like that. It doesn't. Not everything has to be great. You could start out pretty good and build from there. But they played you. They played us. That this isn't a superhero show. We didn't even get a full on origin. I feel kind of the way I did with Iron Fist, which I mean, I liked Iron Fist way more than I like this, but that was a prequel to an origin.
Yeah,
pretty much. Like we're finally going to get Iron Fist like in season 2, but yeah.
Artemis Over Easy, thank you for the $10. Remember, food is meant to be eaten with your fingers. Love this nerd chat.
Bad Bunny says, just watched Infinity War. Hate to say, but it wasn't very good in me opinion. And Bad Bunny, Doomcock agrees with you. And it's one of those movies that if you think about it, like Doomcock pointed one thing out that I can't let go now. The whole, like he can manipulate reality, but then doesn't for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
But I still liked it, but kind of like with Civil War, the more times I rewatch Civil War, the less I like it. I like the airport scene pretty much. But I don't know. I mean, it's a turn your brain off movie, but I can understand how you feel that way, Bad Buddy. Happy to jog your brain, guys. If anybody wants to see Marvel TV from the 90s, Mutant X is on Amazon Prime. We should, you know what?
No. That's just mean and wrong. I don't want to have to go through that.
Crazy Carlos, that's kind of why I have unadulterated love for the movies. I am a Thanos fan. And seeing Jim Starlin's Thanos come to life is something I never, ever thought I would see in my lifetime. So just the fanboy in me. And then it's all the heroes coming together. Fucking
there's
Guardians.
Beautiful scenes in that movie too. I mean, there really are.
I'm going to watch it like tonight. I've had it and I haven't had a chance to watch it.
I'll just say the Soul Gem world. That's all I'm going to say.
So we're going to wrap this one up before it turns into Infinity War, and might as well end on a good note. You guys were amazing in the chat tonight. Why don't you start thanking everybody, Dennis, and I'll run the Patreon video, which is incomplete, but I'll explain why.
Artemis Over Easy, Pen Farm Girl, Feisty Fan, Jody, Mako, Crazy Carlos, you crazy bastard. Mary Ashmead, Carrie Dalton, Dwayne Duncantel, Bad Bunny, Slurmy Scott, Viking Bitch, how's it going? Who else do we have here? Persian Scribe, Carrie Dalton, and I said Mary Ashmead. Yes, I did. Philip A. Demick, Mr. Vane. Mr. Vane, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. I know you've been probably around there in the chat. Random Game User 42, Marcus Khan. Excuse me.
What you're seeing is our wonderful, loyal, and amazing patrons. And towards the end of this video, you will see a representation of what you will get if you join our Patreon. We have 3 levels. For as little as $1, you can help support the Nerdrotic channel. It's basically a tip. You get to see some exclusive content someday. But we, for $5 and $15, we give you stuff. So go to patreon.com/nerdrotic. But what we mainly want is your time, because that's more valuable. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like what you see.
And I also want to say Saiyan Quad 92, Harley's little sister, and I believe there was one other person who I am missing. Oh, there he is. The Bezopoulos.
Bezopoulos?
It's
come on, you're Greek. You should know that.
No, it doesn't have the O's. It doesn't have the O's in the end.
I'm just kidding. I can't even see it.
I can't say my own name. God damn.
Well, I can't say mine either. According to the East Coast family, I say it wrong. So whatever. They're stupid. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding, Uncle Verlin.
They're not watching me anyway.
You're awesome and you scare me. So yes, I have an uncle named Verlin and he's giant. All right, so bye everybody. Hope you have a wonderful day. I may be back on. I gotta see if my fire is ignited again for this whole Spock news, so I might do a Spock video tonight. Check out, we announced our winners in the Expanse video, so if you watch the video I did last night, you can hear the Expanse. One of them is in our chat right now, and one of them has been in our chat quite a bit, but I didn't see him tonight. Our next video will be Friday Night Tights with the wonderful and talented 1-900 Susan Layton, where we will talk about Spock. We will also talk about Donkey Balls, and we'll talk about all these shows that we cover being delayed till 2019. And also Henry Cavill, will he return as Superman? I don't think so.
Or will Ben Affleck return as the Batman too?
Oh, definitely not. As well. So we will talk about that as well. Dennis, take us out, man.
Children of Earth, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you might find yourself shooting bolts of lightning or energy bolts into the sky for no reason whatsoever.
But defeating greed with love. May the small folks sing songs of your greatness. And I need you because you need me, and I need you, but you don't need me. And we all need each other, but we're all codependent. Good night.
But you don't need